episode of La La Land. Guest co-host Callie Carson. Thanks for sitting in for Neti today, Callie.
Yes, of course.
And we are here talking to Sean Spence and Robin Shelby.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Thanks for coming in.
No problem. Our pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Now, Sean and Robin are both very seasoned, well-trained actors. I've had the opportunity to get to know both of them, and they are a couple. They've been together 16 years, I believe.
16 years, yes.
That is correct.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I think
Thank
that's
you.
40 years in LA time.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's correct.
At least.
I use that joke all the time. So.
Cool. Well, you guys work together as artists.
Yes. I mean, have you done shows together?
Well, you guys work together as artists. What is that like? Is it difficult living together and working together as a couple, or do you find that you've found a way to make it easy?
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
We've done musicals together and shot like web series together, which we still are. And the cool thing is you can rehearse together.
That's
even
true.
when
True.
you're traveling in the car, you can take that time and you get rehearsal time that you would never ever get if you weren't married. So it's pretty cool.
Right. You have a built-in person to run lines with and everything. So no, it's really good. We've done shows where people are like, "We're so jealous. You guys get to run your lines all the time."
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's really beneficial.
Good. So you guys have made it work for you. That's awesome.
Oh, definitely.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start with you, Sean, and just kind of tell me a little bit about what when you first got the acting bug, like what made you interested in acting, and tell us a little bit about the beginnings of that.
That's actually funny. My mom, when I was a kid, took me to audition for The Sound of Music. And it was my brother, my sister, and
Great.
myself. And I was standing outside. I was the last one to go. I'm the youngest. And so my brother went first, and I heard his direction. And then my sister went and I heard her direction. Neither one of them were called back. And then I went in and I took their direction, and they called me back. So
the key.
yeah, exactly. It's all just listening.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then I didn't get the role, obviously, but it was fun, and I enjoyed doing it. And then it sort of just fell to the wayside. And then my mom took me to go see this really obscure play with Robbie Benson called "Do Black Patent Leather Shoes Really Reflect Up?" And I saw that, and for some reason I thought, I want to do that. That's exactly what I want to do. And I didn't really do anything until I went to college, and that's when I became a theater major, just because I didn't have to take science or anything like that. And it was that was nice. It was really nice. And then I just from there moved to Florida. I worked at Disney World for a couple of years.
Wow.
At the time it was Disney MGM Studios. I think it's Disney Hollywood Studios now. Or
Yeah, I
something?
finally just went there, actually.
Really?
Yeah, to Florida. It's nice. You liked living there, huh?
Well, it rained every day.
Yeah. The sun is literally sitting on your shoulder.
Right,
like,
right.
the
Well, it rains, I
humidity.
think, between 12 and 1 every day.
Yeah.
And then, so you got to carry your umbrella with you no matter where you are.
Definitely.
But yeah, it was fun. I worked at the Great Movie Ride and met some great people. And then two of them decided, along with myself, to come out to California a month before the riots. And so
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Interesting timing.
yeah, exactly. And then 1 month went by, and then one went back to Florida, and then one moved to UCLA with his girlfriend. And I was in Long Beach by myself for 6 months, and that's about the time I met Robin.
Aww.
And yeah, we were both working at Universal Studios, taking acting class together. So
Oh, okay.
So, but that's
Love
it, yeah.
blossoms in acting class.
Exactly.
It does. I just met another
Excellent.
girl who's like dating two different guys from her acting classes right now, and that's what happens, I guess.
These things happen.
Those are some great scenes they must have got. So.
Yeah, right.
And you're a film and television as well as a theater actor, right?
Yes, I am. Recently, I just did J. Edgar.
Yes. And you worked with Clint Eastwood.
I was directed by Clint, and my scene was with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wow.
So,
How fun.
it was-
Congratulations. That's
Thank
amazing.
you. Yeah, it was great. And Robin even said, she was like, a year ago, would you have ever thought that you would have been in a movie directed by Clint and opposite Leo? And I was like, no, never. This industry, just you never know when your opportunity is going to happen.
Nope.
So you
And
always have
work
to be,
begets work. And
right. You just
kinda
always have
keep
to be
going.
prepared when it comes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're also working on a web series right now called Far From the Tree, and we start shooting season 2 in 2 weeks. And Robin stars in that.
Yeah.
So-
Tell us about your character.
Yeah.
My character, it's a story about a mother and a daughter and a very dysfunctional family. we call it like Mama's Family, but not from the South.
I love
Okay.
that. I
Makes
love
sense.
it.
But it's just craziness around this poor daughter and how crazy her family is.
Okay.
Does she have
excellent. Where can-
siblings?
She does. She has a sibling. She
Nice.
has a crazy father with an arm candy girlfriend,
Oh, perfect.
which we explore that a little bit more in this next season.
Are you close
so.
in the same age with the arm candy girlfriend?
She could be my daughter.
Okay.
I think. But it's
That's how dysfunction this family is. Dysfunctional.
Sounds.
So it's fun to write for. So it's really.
So you
Definitely.
write on it too?
Yes,
You
yes.
write it.
Sean
Okay.
writes and directs. Yes.
And then
Wonderful.
Robin's producing and starring in it.
Very cool.
Excellent. And where can people find out information about that if they're interested?
They can go to YouTube and you can actually type in Far From the Tree series with no spaces.
Okay.
That's probably the easiest way to find us. There are 6 episodes
I was just
at
going to
this
ask
point.
how many episodes.
There
Okay.
are 6, and they're real easy to watch because the longest one is 4 minutes, but they average about 2.5.
Perfect.
So it's quick, it's fun, and you should get a good chuckle out of it. So check it out.
Yeah, because I've been finding as I watch like web series online that almost like the shorter, not like the shorter, like too short is not good, but you know, between 2 minutes and 4 minutes, I'm finding myself like caught up in it and I want to watch another one. But those series that seem to be a little bit longer, I'm kind of like, I move on from it. So I think that's perfect.
I think they said the good rule of thumb is after 5 minutes, it's probably too long.
Yeah,
For the web. 'cause-
for a web, yeah, for
Mhm.
sure, for sure, because everybody can just move and move and move on
Exactly,
there. So
right.
that's great, you guys.
There's so much web series work that people are doing lately. It seems there's a web series, a new great one.
It's taking off.
Yeah, it's doing
Yeah.
really, really well.
Definitely. I just had some other friends having one, and they're having some good success too. So I wish you guys the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Callie.
you. Thank you so much.
Forward to it.
We brought on some great people to work with us too. Like you said, work begets work. It's like you meet actors, and along the way, you bring them into projects that you're doing, and
Yes.
you help each other. You kind of grow,
Definitely.
and move along with those same people.
And that's really nice to get to that place, I think, with friends and other actors in LA. You know, at first, I think when some actors come here, it's all about like, what am I going to be and how am I going to do it? And then you realize that it can actually become like one big family here in Los Angeles,
Well, that's
and
the
you
thing,
can
we-
create good work.
Yeah, we actually going to the theaters. There were shows that we would go see at I think Morgan Wixon at Theater Palisades, and there were actresses that we wanted to work with, and Robin wanted to work with, and she hadn't had the chance to. And we loved their work, and Joanna Churgan was one of those people. And you know, we just said, well, she'd be great for the mother in this. And then we went to a party, and we saw a friend of ours, and she was, you know, we told her about the web series, and she's like, if you ever need anybody, and Lisa Erickson, and we're like, well, you know what, she could play your sister. So then we, you know, it's sort of like you meet these people who you want to work with, who you think are talented, and just go with there and go from there.
It's so much about the connections. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
necessarily just going
Just
to
be
auditions.
willing to do
and-
it and work. Be an actress. You know,
Right.
be an actor. Just
Never
give it
say
your all.
never say no to anything. Seriously,
Definitely.
I mean, honestly, there's a lot of work out there, and if you're willing to work it, just work it.
Yeah, and be open to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely, and it's all about marketing yourself the right way,
Yep.
and you know, just making those little connections. You never know where they can lead to. It's
Definitely.
pretty incredible.
That's great.
Well, we'll be back to talk to Sean Spence and Robin Shelby. They're dancing in
We're
the studio,
grooving.
guys.
We're grooving.
Yeah, they're looking good. And guest host Callie Carson will be
Yes,
back to
thank
talk to all 3 of them on La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. See you in 2 shakes.
Looking at them just gives me the blues.
Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. We're here with guest host Callie Carson.
Hello.
And we're talking to Sean Spence and Robin Shelby on this special artist couples edition of La La Land. And we're taking your calls at 1-800-336-2225. Give us a call, guys, if you have any questions for our guests. And when we left off, we were talking a little bit about web series and that type of thing. And for you, Robin, how did you first get involved with the web series and all that? How did that come about?
I think it was just wanting to stay creative, and had an idea. It was just a shell of an idea, and Sean made me sit down. He's like, "Look, you've got this idea. Just write one script." And I'm really I'm not a writer. I think people have a gift. I'm an actor. I'm a singer, but not a writer. But he made me do it, which is great. And it gave him an idea. After he read what I had written about the idea for the web series, he kind of took that one script, because I had ran in like 3 different places with it, and he split it into 3 different scripts for the web series. But that's kind of how it came about. It's just an idea that I had and expressed it to my husband, and we just kind of worked on it from there.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's working out very well for you.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Good. And something interesting, too, that you might not know about Robin, she was actually Slimer in Ghostbusters Part 2.
Yes, that is true.
What was that like? What was that experience like?
It's great. Just taking one step back, we talked about not ever turning down work. There was a movie, it's called Willow. And
Warwick Davis, yeah.
Yes, and there's a scene where a troll gets pulled off a bridge by a dragon-type character.
Two-headed dragon, yeah.
A two-headed dragon, and gets killed. And they had asked me at ILM, I basically met with them. They said, yes, could you come in and do it? It was like a day or 2 of work. And I woke up in the middle of that night before my first day of work, throwing up with 103-degree fever.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, but gosh, I really want to go. And my dad called in sick and took me, literally, like, packed me in the car. and to make a long story short, I did the couple days of work, and that is why they had remembered me for Ghostbusters 2. So had I not gone to Willow, chances are I would have never had that experience. So always try to take the gig if you get it. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Always.
It's all about those little decisions. Sometimes those little decisions affect so much.
Absolutely. Just do what you can to do every day of work, because like I'm going back to what Callie said, work begets work. So
Yeah.
keep it coming. Keep it going.
Absolutely. And how did you first get involved in the industry? What sparked your passion?
I went to see a production of Annie. I think almost every little girl in musical theater got sparked.
I was Miss
Of
Hannigan in that show. When I was like, I don't even
You're
know,
way too
14,
young.
15. Like,
You're way too young.
Little girls. My favorite number.
That's great.
And I turned to, I believe my mom took me, and I turned to my mom and I said, I want to do this. I can do this.
Sure.
And my mom's like, yeah, sure, honey. Okay.
Yeah.
You go do that. And I did. And I decided to audition for children's theater in Northern California, and I kept
You're
working.
like, look at me now, Mom.
And it all worked out, and fell in love the minute I stepped into a theater. So
Cool.
That's great. And they were really supportive of you, it sounds like.
Definitely. I mean, my parents, from the time I was about 13, they were driving me all over California. So I have a lot to thank them for. When I couldn't drive, they toted me around. So they're very supportive.
Great.
Absolutely.
And you've both been in the business basically since you were children. Is there any advice that you would give to somebody listening right now that's thinking about coming out to LA to pursue their dreams? What would you say is the most important thing?
Don't take my job. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
If you're my age, stay where you are. Don't come to
Joking.
California. No, it's one of those things where if you know you want to do it, do it. You got to have the passion for it. It's not an easy business. Just stay creative. If you sit around and wait for the work to come, it's not going to come. That's why we decided to do Far From the Tree. It keeps you creative.
Yes.
And then, you meet the people and you slowly start building those relationships. It's all about relationships.
Yeah, sure.
It's that old adage, what is it? It's not what you know, it's who you know. That's completely what it is. So, but be prepared when it comes. But
Yeah, definitely. And how did you fall into that Clint Eastwood?
Oh, the Clint Eastwood one was
Film.
interesting. I actually I auditioned for a Chapin University student film, and from there I kept in touch with the director.
That's what you got to do.
And she ended up becoming a casting director, and she was assistant casting director for Fiona Ware Casting, who cast all of Clint Eastwood's films.
Wonderful.
And so Fiona Ware said, "Find me all these under fives," and she called up all the people who she could think of who helped her in the past. And luckily, I got in. I auditioned for 3 roles and got 1.
That's
So-
amazing.
Great.
Congratulations.
What an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, it was great.
For more information on Sean and Robin, go to sean-spence.com and robinshelby.com. And thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
This was fun.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank you so much.
And we'll be back to talk to Timothy Sands and Meghan Kulig right here on La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. We're here on our special artist couples edition of La La Land with special guest host Callie Carson.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm doing good. We are sitting here. We just talked to Sean Spence and Robin Shelby. For information about them, go to sean-spence.com and robinshelby.com. And we are now talking to Timothy Sands and Meghan Kulig.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey guys, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Not a problem.
So I guess I'll just start off asking you the same question that I asked Sean and Robin. What is it like being a couple working in the industry? Is it something that you find difficult? Do you have to make adjustments, or is it just smooth sailing?
The great thing is I feel like we're really supportive of each other. And that is really great to be encouraging to Tim when he's going out for auditions or he needs to memorize lines or anything. I'm there always supporting him, and I think it's vice versa. We're, it's a tough business, so it's nice to have that kind of support.
Did you ever find that there was a time where you kind of had to grow into that, like supporting,
I still have a hard time doing lines with her.
Yeah, when I was in my past relationship, I had a hard time doing that too, because the last couple we just had on, they were like, we loved it. We loved running lines with each other. And I was like, wow, I could never do that. So like, it works for you guys now. So you found that there was a time, now you're loving it. Doing lines, I
wouldn't say I love it.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Getting better.
But you're acclimating yourself to it
Absolutely.
better. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know
good.
why. It's something I care a lot what Meghan thinks. I
That's
care a lot.
awesome.
And so it's rough. It's the same thing with my family too. I have a rough time running lines with my family because I think it's just that I put them on a pedestal. And the last thing I want to do, and like I want them to see at my performance level. I don't want them to see me at my rehearsal level. So
And then you're okay with the casting directors.
yeah, because
They're strangers.
cares about them.
Right? They only give me my career. That's all.
So, but no, but I've gotten better.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
That's it. She's fine. She runs lines in front of me all the time. It's cool.
Yeah, that's like me. I'm totally cool with it too. It was
Yeah.
my relationship, the guy who I was with. So.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
And is it the same thing in a performance? Like when your friends are coming to the show, it's a little more nerve-wracking than, because I know for me it is. So,
Yeah, it's intense.
Definitely.
Yeah, especially when the family comes. And of course, I'm more used to Meghan because she comes all the time and her support's amazing. So,
Sure.
But the family, when they come, that's an event.
Big deal.
It's amazing.
Big
Yeah.
deal, definitely.
Yeah.
And you're both film and theater actors.
Yes.
I had a chance to check out your websites at timothysands.com and meghankoolig.com, Kulig. And you've got some pretty interesting stuff on there. Your reel has Tim. Your reel has a couple of different things on there. Something really, really intense and something a little more comedic. Tell us about it.
Yeah, my reel. I've pretty much built it up by doing student films and independent films when I first got to LA, and it was hard because I don't book comic roles, and I usually book like the thinker and the smart guy. And so I came across this one film, and it was about a Latin. And I think,
lover.
what was the
A Latin lover.
yeah, it's a Latin lover. But it
I
was
thought you said Aladdin. I was like, what?
No, a Latin lover.
Yes.
Who was supposed to be really, really grimy. So obviously, I sent him my headshot, and I kind of convinced the guy. I'm going, I can play grimy. Like I usually never wrote anything in the notes when I submitted myself, but this time I had to because I knew my headshot was way too clean to play someone grimy. So I was like, I can play really grimy, and
That was off of LA Casting?
That was Actors Access. I
Oh,
think.
okay.
Yeah,
So you use those for a lot of the work that you've
exactly.
gotten. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Casting networks, but so I sent the note, and they bring me down. I know as soon as I walked in the room, they're going, no, "This is not the guy." And then I did this crazy Latin accent, and they were enjoying it, and I just had so much fun with the character. Of course, I didn't get a call back. But then, like 2 days before they were going to shoot, they said, "We've been looking and looking and looking. We couldn't find what we could find, and we just remember your audition. It was awesome." So they
Great.
brought me down. So I think that's like my one choice comedic role that's on my reel.
There you go.
Which was
I'm going to check that
stupendous.
out.
It was
Yeah.
it was a fun shoot.
It's very
It was a
funny.
really fun
Cool.
shoot. So yeah,
Awesome. I was loving the fake mustache in
Yeah,
there too.
I got a fake mustache. It looks good. It looks good.
Cool. And what about you, Meghan? You have something interesting on your reel. Jersey Girls Go Shopping.
Oh yeah, actually that was part of a class that I was in that was fantastic. It was Jeffrey Brooks, who was that I've been taking his class for about a year now, and we had to write. Which is the great part of this class is that we had to make our own material and put it on film and put it together, and the script that we got was actually a little bit nothing like it had nothing to do with Jersey Girls. So my partner and I had said, "What we need to spice this up a little bit. Let's make this about a particular place." So we put a Jersey accent and just spiced it up a bit.
You guys
and
messed around with probably like 2 or 3 different accents, right?
Yeah, we did. We
Right,
tried
it
to
was
spice
creative.
it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, get
it was
really
cool.
creative, and
Process.
it came natural. It was so much fun. And we're still talking about creating more with those 2 characters. They were just fun to do and watch.
You sure? Who doesn't like?
Can we
listening
have a
to the
little
Jersey
sample?
Girls
Can I
talk?
have a sample of like the
Jersey
voice?
Yes.
So we walked in the other day and it was fantastic. We had a great time. Oh my gosh, I love the shop. That's
It sounds completely authentic. If I never
totally
met you,
legit.
I would not know. Awesome.
Well, it was cool because the script was so off the subject. It was
Just about shopping.
and I think the character motivated.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Well, no, they were shopping for a lady who didn't know how to buy the proper size clothes because she was really buff. You know.
Oh yeah, you were talking about your
Yes.
guns and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool that they could just change. It's amazing what you can do with subtext on a script.
Oh, no
how
kidding.
You can completely change the motivation of even what the writer wants to say. So it was cool.
That is great.
Yeah.
How much fun.
Yeah.
For either of you, do you have a preference between theater and television and film? Something you enjoy the most?
That's a funny question. A lot of people ask that too. Instantly, my instinct is to say I want to do film. Yeah.
And for you, Meghan?
Theater and TV and film, but theater is always close to my heart. Something.
Just gotta love the stage.
Yes.
Yeah, it's most rewarding.
It
It's like
is. It
instant
feels rewarding, doesn't
Yes.
it?
And I think that's why
Something
the toss
about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
talked on the show about how that instant audience feedback is so
Exactly.
excellent.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and it just like changes you as an actress or an actor. It's just something about it.
Exactly.
Motivates you to just get better and better and better. And the influence of them either laughing or crying or just the response. I don't know. It just does something.
It's the magic of theater.
Teaches you. You don't even need class sometimes.
We could
The
tell she's
stage.
passionate about
Yeah.
it.
You guys too, though, you know. It's just
Well, we'll be back to talk to Timothy Sands and Meghan Kulig right here on La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk on our special artist couples episode of La La Land. We're taking your calls, guys, at 1-800-336-2225. Give us a call if you have any questions for our guests, Timothy Sands and Meghan Kulig. And guys, when we went to break, we were talking a little bit about being a couple in the industry and how that works out for you. Do you find that there's any particular difficulties, something that makes it difficult to be an artist couple, or is it pretty smooth sailing and you guys have worked out the kinks pretty well? Is there any?
I think most of it's been pretty smooth for us. I think the only difficult thing would maybe be the fact that we spent or at least I know you spent a lot of time listening to me talk about it incessantly. So I could see if someone was like, I just want to take this out of my mind. But I don't know. We haven't run into that.
No, being artists, if you book something, you spend a lot of time apart. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's a
That
little
can be tough.
challenging,
Sure.
and it's not an everyday schedule where people have a 9-to-5 job and come home to somebody. It's with Tim's
Yeah.
performances or the shows he does. Sometimes, the rehearsals take weeks and weeks, and some of the times I
like
don't
9-hour
see him that much.
days.
Yeah,
into the night.
yeah, but
And of
it's-
course we work too.
Yeah.
Especially in LA, you're working and also working on your
Yeah.
project.
So you're
Yeah.
balancing like something other than just being an actor.
Yeah.
And being able to provide like for your lifestyle here to be able to stay and do that. So you both are
Exactly.
doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
What are you guys doing? What do you find yourself splitting?
Well, most recently it was probably the play. Both plays, the play I did last year and the play I did this year, we barely saw each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then did you balance, like, what was your other job
Oh yeah.
to help pay for the bills? A bar. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a waitress. So
I work in a hotel.
cool.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I mean, there's something that you kind of have to get past, I feel like, as an actor or an actress out here is like, until the money really starts coming in and that work really starts flowing, you do need to find a way to make a living, because the most important thing is to figure out, how can I stay here and keep doing what I love to do?
Yeah.
You know?
That was rough when I first got to this town, and I always tell people to, or at least recommend to people, is especially when you plan to move to LA, is get all your acting in order.
Yes.
All of your stuff.
Yeah,
in order
have
before
a
you even get
plan.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Absolutely.
gotta have a plan, definitely.
Yeah. Because I spent that first year just kind of
Yeah.
floating around and trying to find
Yeah.
acting thing
For
along
sure.
with the job. And
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now you're kind of moving on, and you said that you were kind of getting ready to get some new headshots.
Oh, absolutely.
And like,
Yeah.
what's the goal with these new headshots? Like, what do you want to like have your look be? You know, because a headshot is like your calling card to get into the
Yeah.
door. So like, what's your
Yeah,
thing?
exactly. I want to capitalize, kind of like I think I was mentioning earlier about the smart guy. My headshots, just a little older, were rugged. For some reason, I don't know why I went with rugged. It's not full
And
for
it
me.
changes as you keep going and stuff like that.
Precisely.
Like, Megan, for
Precisely.
you, like, what's your, like, you know, your thing? What do you want to have be showing on your headshots? Like,
Well, I just got my headshots done actually. a
Oh,
couple
cool.
months
Who'd you
ago.
shoot with?
Mikhail Healy, and I have to say I've been getting a lot of attention. At this time, I don't have an agent, but I've been pushing my own work, and I at least have 1 or 2 auditions a week.
Yeah.
just from
great.
my headshots.
great.
see, that's
You know,
awesome.
and I have a lot of
you know when it's that good headshot.
I have a lot of
Absolutely.
theater on my resume, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting called for film, television, you know, besides theater.
Yeah.
So it's the headshots
Yeah, and
that
I'm-
really make a difference.
I got really motivated
Definitely.
when I saw her headshots to use the same lady. Mikhail.
Really?
Yeah, Mikhail.
she's
And it was
fantastic.
neat because I went on the first meeting with her, and that's a huge thing. I feel like
Meeting with
photography.
the photographer, so important. I did that same exact thing, and it just gets you so comfortable with them. And this, like, the last person I shot with, I had a meeting. I sat down, like, they got to know me, and then they were able to like shoot with me and laugh with me. And even in the emotional moments where you want to get, because headshots are not just about smiling and snapping that picture. It goes a lot deeper than that when you really want to get that good shot. And I think that's a really important thing for an actor to realize, is like, it's so about the acting, even when you're taking those pictures.
And once you get those headshots, it's all about sending them out to casting directors and agents. Talk a little bit about that process. How's that been working out for you? The whole submission process, for people who are listening might not know what that's all about.
It basically, there are 2 websites that I submit to, LA Casting and Actors Access. And what that is you get submissions or opportunities to submit your picture and resume for projects that are going on in LA, particularly. And they're usually short films, student films, commercials, just about anything. And I focus on things that I think that I could get. You know, not just everything. I know some people who just submit for everything, just like
yeah.
a million things. But and then I know that if I get feedback that somebody wants me to come in for auditions for something I want, you know, something
Right.
I'm really excited for. So that's generally what it is.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff is you can get on there, and there's a lot of just bad projects or projects that don't fit you. And
Definitely. And you
can-
waste your time, and then you get disappointed.
Precisely.
And there's
I
no point in
wasted
doing that to yourself,
I
you
wasted
know?
a lot of time when I was first here because I just wanted
Right.
to go on any audition I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of weed out those bad ones.
Do you find yourself submitting for, like, other than acting, like modeling jobs or things like that? You know, because they have a lot of those things on there too, like or stand-in positions. Have you guys submitted for stand-ins?
Well, print work, not so much modeling, because I think they're very particular for the modeling work. But
That might just be our hang up, though. I have to admit, I do not motivate myself to go. Even print work, I just don't think of it.
But you know what? That's okay, because you got to focus on what you're going for, and that's the film and things. But a lot of people find, like, I need the money, and it's just kind of like, keep your focus on what you're doing. Don't get sidetracked,
Nice.
you know?
I like that.
Timothy Sands and Meghan Kulig, thanks so much for coming in and talking to us, guys. Keep your eyes out for them. They're going to be a heck of a successful
Yes.
couple.
Thanks,
so
Brett.
much, Brett.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And we'll be back to talk to Callie a little bit about her big move to New York, happening in 2 days. Here on La La
Guys, you
Land
guys are awesome.
on CRN Digital Talk.
Looking at them
Our special artist couples episode of La La Land. We're here with guest co-host Callie Carson.
Hi.
Hey, Callie.
How you doing?
And we just got done talking to Timothy Sands and Meghan Kulig. For more information on them, go to timothysands.com and meghankulig.com, Kulig. And Callie, I want to talk to you a little bit about New York because you're moving there in 2 days.
I know. I leave 6:30 a.m. Monday morning.
Making the big move.
Yes, I am.
You're excited, scared?
I'm really
mix of
excited.
emotions?
I just spent all last night finishing packing, making sure that my musical theater book is all ready and prepared. You know, the music. It's so funny. Like, that's the most important thing I was thinking about. Like, my headshots and my music. Like, I was throwing clothes in a bag, and then all my music's like perfectly set into like a bag.
Are you driving? Or?
No, I'm flying. I'm
right.
gonna go out and establish myself for the first 2 months and find a job. Like I said, I've been working as a waitress while balancing doing regional theater in LA for the last like 4 years. So I think, and I just finished doing Kiss Me Kate at Reprise Theater. We just closed a couple weeks ago, but a wonderful friend, Gerald, he played the guy who did Too Darn Hot. He was my mentor and told me that the most important thing when you get to New York is just make sure that you can pay your rent at the end of the month. And then work on getting yourself those auditions, because if you're going to want to stay, you have to make a living.
And cost of living out there
is
more
different.
expensive
It's
than
more
LA.
expensive. So he's like, don't go out there thinking you're just going to right away get a Broadway job. Of course, it's wonderful. And that is a dream, you know, it's everything. But you need to make sure that you can survive and live and provide. And I was like, okay, thank you for telling me that.
Sure.
You know,
But the money is decent out there as far as when you do get a job.
definitely. I have
Yeah.
been doing my searching, you know. So I am so excited. It's going to be a great change. I feel like LA theater out here has been wonderful. It's prepared me. I've learned so much from all the directors and the shows that I've been in out here, and that my resume is ready. I think a year and a half ago, I would say I was not ready. Even 2 years ago. I mean, I was afraid. I was so scared to leave and go to New York. I was like, no way. Like, everybody was like, why are you here? You know, based on what they were seeing in me out of shows, they were like, you need to go to New York. You need to go to New York. And I was like, I'm not ready yet. I don't feel ready. And then this last month, it just hit me, and I was like, why am I not there? Why am I not there?
Might as well
Gotta go. I'm 22,
Sure.
you know, and I have nothing holding me here. No more relationships, you know, and just myself. It's time to take care of myself. My dreams.
It's a huge step.
Yeah, it's so nice to kind of like finally feel that. And it's not about being selfish. I'm definitely not in that place in my head. But there is a point where in your life where you're like, okay, it's time for me for a little bit. It's time to figure out what I want.
Sure.
And I know that I want to be on Broadway, and I know that I want to be a singer. So
Did you grow up here?
no, I grew up in North Dakota. And it's so funny because like in North Dakota, there's no theater, there's nothing there. And when I moved to Arizona, and I was a singer there in choir, and then I found a friend, and he's like, you should do theater. And I was like, singing and acting? What's that? So I started doing that, and I fell in love, and I got into community theater. And then I decided to go to college in LA, AMDA, the American Musical Theater of Dramatic Arts. And I just fell in love with musical theater and acting. And now I'm going to go do it in New York. So I am so excited. I got my training, I got my resume,
Making the big move.
making the big move.
Well, we're wishing you the best of luck out
Thank
there.
you so
I'm
much.
excited for you.
Thank you
And,
so much.
Make sure you call in every once in a
Oh,
while.
I
Let us
will.
know how
I'll have
you're
a lot
doing.
to say about that city for sure. And I'll give some advice too. I'm going to have to learn a lot. Starting
Excellent.
over.
No kidding.
Very
Yeah.
cool. For more information on Callie, go to calliecarson.com. And make sure you join us next week on La La Land, CRN.
Thank you so much for
Digital
having me.
Talk. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, Meghan and Tim.
Thank you.
And we will see you at the top. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.